comfortable. Oh.
So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Let it roll, baby.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Charlie Lotus, aka Lo. If you've been here before, welcome back. If not, welcome. I wanted to take some time today to discuss breastfeeding. It was something that I was really passionate about when I was pregnant with Charlie, to breastfeed for the first year. I've heard a lot of stories of people being unsuccessful or experiencing a lot of pain and things like that. So I did as much research as I could to make sure that no matter what, I was breastfeeding. And that was just like my personal decision. I really, really wanted to do that. On top of the fact that Charlie was really tiny when she was born and she was early. And I just wanted to give her the best nutrition I could. And she's still breastfeeding. We're still trying to wean her off before the next baby comes. And I just wanted to go over some of the products I use that were really helpful for me to be successful in the first year. Because the first year is such a learning experience. And even if you have children or have had a baby before, you're still learning your baby. So not every baby's the same. Not every baby latches the same. Some babies really struggle. Some babies have lip ties, tongue ties, things that get in the way of them latching appropriately. So I wanted to just go over some of the things I did to save my milk, store my milk, keep it organized, just whatever I used, especially for my new mamas and my new mama friends. I have like 10 friends that are all having babies or had babies between January and June of this year, or having babies. So just wanted to kind of put it in a video, and hopefully this helps one of you guys. It really helped me. So I hope that you find this video informative, and let me know if you guys have any questions along the way in the comments. So one of the things that I used was a haka. So this has not been used in a really long time. I'm going to have to sanitize it before baby comes. But the first couple days after birth, you're producing colostrum. So you're not really going to use this right away, but then your milk comes in, and then once you kind of get comfortable with latching and, I think I started the haka 2 weeks after Charlie was born, and it catches your letdown. So when baby is breastfeeding on one side, you can attach this to the other side, and it literally works as a suction. So best thing to do is to fold it back, pinch it, and then place it on your breast, and then let it suction. And if you do it too tight, it may hurt a little bit, so you can feel free to adjust it as you need to. But that's how you're going to get the best suction and it not falling off. So I used this, and this was just to really catch anything that came out of one breast while the other breast was being utilized by the baby. So I didn't waste milk. I think that's a big thing with breast milk, is you don't want to waste it, because it's like, they call it liquid gold. You can use it on like your baby's skin, if they're having eczema issues, like giving them a breast milk bath, mixing it with solids when you first start doing solids like baby oatmeal and stuff. Like, this is really, really helpful for storage. Mine came with like this little flower plug, and then there's also like a lid one. I never kept milk in this past using it. I would always transfer it to a storage system that I bought. So the storage system that I bought was a lifesaver for me. It's from Medela, and it's called the Breast Milk Storage Solution Set. I'll link it below. And these are not all the bottles that come in it, but it comes with this little like tray, and then it comes with these bottles, and then it also comes with these little 2.5 ounce bottles, which are really helpful. So these are cool because, so what I would do is Charlie would breastfeed, and I would use the haka, and I would collect whatever milk there was. Theron, my husband, he would then transfer the milk from the Haka to one of these bottles. And what's really helpful about the bottles are that you can change the cap. I don't know if you can see this. So you can change the cap. So it has 3 little dials on it. So it's like morning. It says AM, and then there's a slash in the middle, and then PM. There's like a little hump. So and then you pop it out, like so. You just lift it, and then you can turn it to whatever date it is that week, like whatever the day is. So if it was Sunday morning, I used my Haka, then he could put it on Sunday morning and put the milk in here, and then he would put the bottle in the beginning of the storage system. Now, when I use the Haka again, he would use another bottle, change the date to like Sunday afternoon, and put it right behind there, and so on and so forth. So he would just keep doing that. And then once all the bottles are the right temperature, so they've been in the fridge for a couple hours, then that's when you can combine them and put them in a storage bag. You're not supposed to mix milk that's not the same temperature. So what we would do is we would just wait till everything was chilled, and then we would mix it together in and put 2 ounces or 3 ounces or 4 ounces in a storage bag. So the storage bags that I used were the Medela ones. And this is an open pack from Charlie that I will be using for next baby. So this is what they look like. It says they can store up to 6 ounces. To be honest, I wouldn't go over 5. I've had a couple of them like break open after freezing, but they come sealed, so you have to literally tear or cut this off. They're really easy to tear. And then we would put the chilled milk, however many bottles, and we started storing up just 2-ounce bags. Measure it in the cups first and then just pour them in because they're going to expand when they freeze. So we would start with 2 ounces, and then whatever Charlie was drinking from, because she only took a bottle like the first couple of weeks, if she was drinking 2-ounce bottles, then I was saving 2-ounce bags. And the same thing with pumping, which we'll get to pumping, but we were saving these. And then as far as storing them, my friend sent me a video that was really, really cool. I don't have a pan with me, but what you do is after you put the milk in and you put your, the date, it says name, date, and amount. So I would put like Haka, whatever the date was, and then 2 ounces so that I knew, because depending on like your Haka is catching your letdown, which is like the earlier milk. I forgot what it's called, but it tends to be a little more sugary. And then when you pump, you get past that. It's called 4 milk. When you get past the 4 milk, then you get to like the thicker, like meatier milk, like the stuff that's gonna make baby plump up. So I would make sure that I always put Haka, because just to know that it was let down, not like the actual milk that was gonna make her gain weight. So when we'd fill these up, and then we would put them on a like a flat surface. So if your freezer has like a tray in there, or you can use a baking sheet and you put them flat. And if you have another baking sheet, then you sandwich it in between the baking sheets. And what it does is it freezes this nice and flat. So then they're super easy to go into Ziploc baggies. And that's how I stored all of my milk, were in the gallon size Ziploc bags, the ones that have flat bottoms, because they fit perfectly. So you just can just literally put them in a row until the bag is full, zip lock the bag, and put it in the back. Or if you have a deep freezer, which that's something I'm definitely doing this pregnancy, is getting a deep freezer, because I had so much stored milk that it took over the majority of the freezer. So that's how I would store them. So I had Haka, and then the storage system, and then the storage bags. And then I already talked about pumping, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So I got this pump. It's just the Medela Pump In Style Advanced. So I was very fortunate that my insurance sent me a free pump. So, and my insurance was a little funny. Like, you can't order your pump until the baby's born because you're not going to use the pump right away. Like, you have to wait for your milk to come in, and then, you know, you're using the first couple of weeks to really figure out, like, what breastfeeding is. And then I started to pump at, I think it was 12 weeks or 8 weeks, because we introduced a bottle to Charlie, and then I would pump during the time that Theron was giving her a bottle. So I really like Medela. Everything that I use is pretty much Medela. I just really, really like their products. I got this for free, so I was like, of course I'm going to use it. And it did me good for a while. I really wasn't a fan of pumping. I work from home, and, you know, I've had Charlie pretty much isolated from everyone with COVID and everything. So when she stopped taking a bottle and just refused a bottle, then it was just like there was no point in pumping because I could use my haka to collect milk. And then, I had so much stored up from the first couple of months. So I just held on to that until I needed some, you know, extra supplement or putting milk in her food and things like that. Another thing that was really helpful because of the pump parts were these Mandela Quick Clean Micro Steam Bags. So they're really cool because, and this is like one that I had from Charlie. So you just rinse all the parts, and then you put about 2 ounces in the bag, and then you can microwave it, and it tells you like the heating time, and then there's like a little checkbox down here at the bottom for how many times you've used it. So you can only use these 20 times, but I would use these majorly for my pump parts, and when she was using a bottle, if I didn't have time to like steam them in a bottle steamer or boil them. So these were really helpful as well. And then something that I did because I was obsessed with saving milk, right? Like everyone tells you, like, breast milk is liquid gold, like save as much as you can. And what you'll find is in between feedings, you may leak, right? So you have your breast pads that catch the milk. So when Charlie was starting to sleep more throughout the night, so she fed every 2 to 3 hours for, I think we did that for like a whole month and a half, maybe even 2 months, like 8 weeks. And then we started to let her kind of stretch the night sleeps out a little bit, but kept the daytime feedings every 2 to 3 hours. So she built up the calories during the day, which would help her sleep longer at night. But when she starts sleeping longer at night, my breasts would get really engorged and they would leak. And there were some nights where I would wake up and I would just be drenched because she didn't wake up, in the 4 or 5 hours, like stretches. She was starting to get like really good at sleeping at night. So I got these guys. These are called Lacti Cups. And I actually I buy these for all my friends when if they tell me they want to breastfeed. Then I buy these for them as a gift because these were really, really helpful to help. It gave me peace of mind knowing that I wasn't wasting milk. And so you put your nipple where the hole is and you insert them into your bra. And if you can find a comfortable sleeping position, then these are really, really helpful because you're catching the milk. And then every time Charlie would just get up to eat, then I would empty them into these little bottles. So these are the 2.5 ounce bottles that come with the solution system from Medela. And I would just pour whatever letdown was in my Lacti Cups into these and put them in the fridge. So that was also really helpful too, to just keep, storing milk, because really it's amazing how much milk you leak and you don't really know until it happens. And then you actually measure it by using something like this or the haka, and you're like, Oh, wow. I don't want to just like throw milk away like that. So the Lacti Cups were really helpful. They're not like, I mean, they're pretty comfortable considering, like, I've tried other brands, like the Hako ones were not comfortable. They're really hard and like small and circular, where these are more like kind of shaped like teardrops. So this is what's on your breast, and then it just sits in your bra. And I sleep on my back, so it was not really like an issue for me. I miss sleeping on my back. That's one thing that's really hard about being pregnant. So yeah, these were really, really helpful for me. So I've heard of mamas using these if they have like inverted nipples or like, you know, not large enough nipples, like where baby's having like an issue latching. These were actually sent to me from one of my friends. So my second month of breastfeeding was the hardest by far. Charlie was, I would say she was starting to become a lazy latcher, and I couldn't, and I was getting lazy with it too, because it's really, really hard, like, to just get in a routine, and babies have to learn how to latch. You have to learn how to help them latch. Like, so the second month, I had some issues where Charlie wasn't latching appropriately, and I was starting to get like blisters on my nipples because of the way she was latching. And my girlfriend sent me these. So these are the Mandela nipple shields, and they come in this cute little like container. And they are these silicone, everything has water spots on them because I haven't used them in forever, and I washed them. So they're just these really thin silicone nipple shields, and they have different sizes. Yeah, so you'd have to like make sure you get the ones that are appropriate for yours. And they have like the little holes in the end. So what I would do when I had the blisters is I would, and it helps a lot, you guys. This helps a lot. Running the brim under hot water and then placing it on you, it helps it like suction cup to you. So I would use these intermittently with Charlie to kind of like help give me a break from her latching. And then it also, I feel like it helped her with her bottle when she was taking a bottle, because it was all around the same time. It wasn't like I was just offering her my breast or the bottle. It was like my breast with these on, which felt more like a bottle, and then the bottle. So these were really helpful, and these really, really helped get me through that time, because let me tell you, like, I had to breastfeed. It was something that I was like, I must accomplish this. But I could understand why some mamas just quit when that happens, because it's really painful. Like, Charlie would latch and I would be like, ugh, every time she latched, and then she'd get going, and then I would be like, okay, it feels a little better. But that was a really rough moment for me. And then as far as like recovery from that time and like when I needed it, so once again, it's Medela. This is because I got it from the hospital. So this is Medela Lanolin. So the hospital, most hospitals will give you a lanolin, mama. So always make sure you ask for it. And it's just soothing relief for sore nipples. And what it does is it helps seal in moisture that you lose when you are breastfeeding, because baby is constantly, sucking on your nipple and it loses moisture. So this was really helpful. And then my girlfriend also recommended this, which I currently have on my registry right now, is the Mother Love Nipple Cream. So this is lanolin free, but it has all organic ingredients. And both of these are fine. So like if you put them on your breast and like baby goes to breastfeed, you don't have to wash your nipple off before you breastfeed baby. But a lot of this is just to help lock in the moisture that is, taken away when you're breastfeeding. So these were really helpful as well, along with the nipple shields. And then gel pads. So I don't currently have any because I I only used them for a short time, and it was during that time when I really, really needed them. I'll link them below so you know which ones that I've used. And both of them are really cool. I really like them. But they're just these little gel pads, and you put them in the fridge. And so after you're done breastfeeding, you can take them out of the fridge and you insert them into your bra. And they give like off this cooling sensation, which was heaven sent after breastfeeding and you have blisters and you just need some kind of relief. So I used those as well. So a lot of these were things that I used transitionally. That too, I have a magnet that's super cool on my fridge that let me know how many days that the milk could be in the fridge, how long it can be in room temperature environments. And so I'll link that below as well, because that was really helpful as far as storing and keeping track of the milk, putting the milk from the bottles in the storage system into the baggies. And then when I needed to use the milk, I would just take the baggies out and run it under warm water. So those are the products that really, really helped me out. There's a lot of stuff out there. This is just what helped me. I plan to do the same thing. And a lot of this happened because I was doing my registry and I was like, what do I need for breastfeeding? And I realized like I really do have everything that I used with Charlie, and I just plan to use the same things because it worked. Except I need a deep freezer. So that is a big thing. Something that also is just going to help your milk come in that I use. So, I mean, of course, drinking water. So constantly drinking water. The more water, the better, because you're staying hydrated and your body will be able to produce the milk easier. And then lactation cookies. So they have lactation cookies that you can get from the store. You can make them. I did both. I bought some. I made some. The lactation cookies just gave me a little more peace of mind. All right, well, thank you so much for watching my video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below and ask away. I do respond. This is something I was really passionate about, and doing my registry and realizing like I don't really need a lot of things because I have them from when I was pregnant with Charlie and when I had Charlie. So if you have any questions, let me know. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember to hit the little bell so you're notified when we release a new video. We release them every week. And more baby stuff to come. Take care, everyone.